Bismillah Rahman Rahim. I hope you will be fine. Today we are going to start endocrine. In endocrine, we will discuss the drug treatment of pituitary and hypothalamic diseases, drug treatment of pancreatic diseases, drug treatment of sex diseases caused by the sex hormones, and drug treatment of thyroid hormone diseases, and the bone mineral homeostasis. First, we will start treatment of diabetes or treatment of pancreatic disorder. In pancreatic disorder, the most important disease is the diabetes mellitus. So today we are going to discuss diabetes mellitus. First, we will discuss the learning objectives. At the end, you should be able to describe At the end, you should be able to describe management of diabetes, classify different preparation of insulin and their duration of action, describe the major problem or adverse effect of insulin therapy, classify oral hypoglycemic drugs, explain their mechanism of action and their clinical uses and adverse effect. In today's lecture, we will only discuss the diabetes, its type, and the information regarding insulin. Oral hypoglycemic drugs we will discuss tomorrow. So, can you tell me what is diabetes mellitus? Because diabetes mellitus is a very, very common disorder, and it affects 463 million people in the world. 463 million people in the world, and at the end of 2030, the prevalence will increase up to 583 million. 583 million. And according to various researches, every second person has an impaired glucose tolerance test, or every second person have a chance to develop diabetes, but it is undiagnosed in most of the time, because diabetes has not very specific adverse effect and usually patient present with the complications. Clear? So what is diabetes? Diabetes mellitus is a Latin word and it is a combination of two words. डिस्टर्ब कर रहा है, मुझे चैट देखने की आदत है और वैसे भी जो है ना, कहाँ है वो? ऑन हुआ था फिर ऑफ हो गया, क्या प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है? चैट तो ओपन करो ना, बच्चों से कोई रिस्पॉन्स पूछना होता है, कुछ करना होता है तो उसको करो, देखो। Wait for a minute because there is some problem. So first we will solve this problem and then we will continue. अच्छा, पहले वाले लेक्चर में अच्छा खासा आ रहा था, सुबह मैंने लिया 10 से 11 वाला, अब फिर ये नहीं आएगा। Okay, so diabetes mellitus is a Latin word and it is a combination of two words. Diabetes means to flow through, or we can get its meaning that high urine outflow, polydipsia, that is one of the sign and symptom of diabetes, polydipsia, or increased urine output. Mellitus means honey-like. It's a Latin word. It means honey-like, and this is where the glucose in urine. As you know that in the diabetes there is a glycosuria. So glucose present in the urine. So the both of these are known as the diabetes mellitus. And the proper definition of diabetes mellitus is it is the elevation of blood glucose that is associated with absent or inadequate pancreatic insulin secretion with or without concurrent impairment of insulin action. Diabetes mellitus usually occur because of the impairment in the release of insulin or the action of the insulin or the absence of the insulin, because as you know that the insulin is necessary for the utilization of glucose. So in the absence of insulin, the glucose concentration will be increased in the blood and it is secreted into the urine, and it can cause the damage of the different blood vessels or different organs. Insulin is the main hormone that is involved in the diabetes mellitus. Can you tell me where from the insulin? Oh, you can't say. There is a problem with the chat box. Chat box is not shown in the screen, so I can't ask you. Okay. So insulin is released from the pancreas, specific cells of area of the pancreas, that is isolate of Langerhans. Here there are a few cells that releases insulin, and these cells known as beta cells. Beta cells release insulin, and insulin is the anabolic hormone of our body. Other hormones are also released from the pancreas, and the important hormones are the glucagon, somatostatin, and amylin. Amylin, glucagon, and somatostatin. They are also released from the different cells that are present in the isolate of pancreas, Langerhans. Amylin modulate the appetite, gastric emptying, and glucagon and insulin secretion. Glucagon is a hyperglycemic factor that increases the blood glucose level and mobilize the glycogen storage, and usually it is released during hypoglycemic state or when the blood glucose level will be decreased. Somatostatin is the inhibitor of various secretory cell and it inhibits the release of insulin. So these are the hormones that are released from the pancreas, beta cells of the pancreas. Now we come to the types of diabetes. We have mainly 4 types of diabetes. 4 types of diabetes. Type 1, that is known as insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. IDDM shows the insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. As the name shows, in this type of diabetes, there is complete destruction of the beta cell of the Langerhans. So there is no insulin. In type 2 diabetes, that is known as the non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus, non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus, and in which patient having an impaired concentration of insulin or there is a resistance to the action of insulin. In type 3, in this type, the miscellaneous causes of diabetes are included. In type 4, that is gestational diabetes, the diabetes that is started during pregnancy, gestational diabetes mellitus. So there are 4 types of diabetes. In type 1 diabetes, as I told you that it is a non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus, and in this type of diabetes, there is a absolute deficiency of diabetes. Insulin. There is no insulin in the body, and beta cell has no ability to produce insulin because they are destroyed either by autoimmune diseases, or by any infection or environmental factor. So in this type of diabetes, there is no insulin, and patient must take insulin from the exogenous source. And in this type of diabetes, patient is treated by insulin therapy. This type of diabetes usually start in the childhood. Before 30 years of age. And these patients require lifelong treatment with the insulin. Type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes, as I told you, that it is a non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus, because in this diabetes, the beta cell has the ability to release insulin, or sometimes the insulin level is normal in our body, but because of insulin resistance, the insulin will not perform its action. And it is, this type of diabetes is influenced by the genetic factors, age, obesity, and something, etc. It is a heterogeneous group of disease, and it usually appears after 30 years of age. It usually appears after 30 to 40 years of age, and in which the insulin is present but is not working properly, or there is a relative deficiency of insulin, especially in obese patient, or because of increased insulin requirement. And this type of diabetes is usually treated by the drugs. Oral hypoglycemic drugs is the use for the treatment of type 2 diabetes, and insulin is only used when these drugs are failed. Otherwise, this type of diabetes is only treated by the drugs, and these drugs available usually administered by the oral route. Although few drugs are available through the intravenous route, but usually these drugs should be given by oral route. You can see here, this slide shows the normal healthy pancreas, the level of pancreas in type 1 diabetes and in type 2 diabetes. In healthy pancreas, you have seen here, these are the insulin is released from the pancreas, and there are insulin receptors that act and increase the utilization of glucose. But in type 1 diabetes, there is no insulin. The cells are destroyed. The cells of pancreas is destroyed, and no insulin is released that bind with the receptor and utilize the glucose, and glucose concentration is increased in the blood. In type 2 diabetes, you have seen there is a almost normal release of insulin, but insulin will not bind with the receptor. It's a receptor because of insulin resistance, and glucose level, and glucose is not utilized, and level of glucose will be increased in the blood. But the situation is different. Here is insulin, but here is not insulin. All of you, this is just a physiology. You have read all these things in physiology in first year, second year, but still many students don't know that what is the difference between the first type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes, and why we give insulin in type 1 diabetes, and why we do not use insulin in type 2 diabetes. These are some conceptual things, and you must understand, because um, uh, examiner can ask the differences between these two types, definition of these two types, and the rationale of use of insulin in type 1, and the reason why it is not used in type 2. So if you have a concept, then you can answer these questions. Many students don't know what is a type 1 diabetes, even why what is a type 2 diabetes. This is very embarrassing, because this is very basic question. Even layman can know that what is type 1 diabetes or what is type 2 diabetes, because it's a very common disorder. In type 3 diabetes, there are multiple causes. There can be a multiple causes. For example, patient having a pancreatectomy because of pancreatic carcinoma. Patient may have inflammation of pancreas because of any reason, or any other pancreatic disease that can impair the release of insulin, or different drugs. Or different drugs can also responsible for causing the diabetes. Can you tell me what are the different drugs that can increase the blood glucose level, or can cause diabetes? और okay, आप मुझे सिर्फ ये बता दें कि which drugs can increase the blood glucose level. Cortisol, very good. Corticosteroids, and one from the diuretics, not statin. Statin is not increasing the release, increase the blood glucose level. Thiazide diuretics, that's good. Thiazide diuretic can be responsible for increased blood glucose level, and they may cause diabetes in patients prone to develop diabetes in future. Okay, so in type 3 diabetes for the miscellaneous causes, for the different causes, and type 3 diabetes patient may have a absolute deficiency of glucose insulin, or may have a relative deficiency of insulin. Clear? It is not just like a type insulin dependent hogi या insulin non dependent hogi. It can cover both types. Sometimes a patient may have in case of pancreatectomy there is absolute deficiency of insulin, and patient should be on insulin therapy till their life. And sometimes the drug induced diabetes can be reduced, or the patient can be okay with some oral hypoglycemic drugs. So it includes both types. Then we come to the gestational diabetes. Gestational diabetes is defined as any abnormality in glucose level identified first time during pregnancy, or we can say it is a pregnancy induced diabetes, because in pregnancy placental hormones sometimes show resistant to the insulin. Placenta and placental hormone sometimes shows the resistant to the insulin. So patient may develop diabetes, especially during the last trimester. Especially during the last trimester. There is a problem with the chat box. वो completely show नहीं हो रहा है, इसलिए मैं आपके कई questions का answer भी नहीं कर पा रही हूँ. Okay, now we should know the normal blood glucose level. What will be the normal blood glucose level? आप लोगों को पता होगा, but again we revise. The fasting blood glucose level should be less than 100 milligram or up to 100 milligram per deciliter, and postprandial or after meal blood glucose level should be 140 milligram per deciliter or less than this. It should not be more than this value. This is the normal level of blood glucose level. In diabetes, the fasting blood glucose level, 8 hours fasting. After 8 hours of fasting, fasting का पता मतलब होता है खाना खाने के 8 घंटे के बाद अगर हम लेते हैं, तो then it will be 126 milligram per deciliter or more. ठीक है, 126 milligram per deciliter or more. And postprandial blood glucose level will be 200 milligram or more. ठीक है, 200 milligram or more. Then we labeled as a diabetes, but not a single time. You also have to confirm 2 or 3 times in different occasions the blood glucose level. And if the blood glucose level is between fasting between 100 to 126 and postprandial between 140 to 200, then the patient may have impaired glucose tolerance test. Patient may go to the impaired glucose tolerance test. ठीक है, क्योंकि पेशेंट may come under the heading of pre-diabetic. अगर पेशेंट का फास्टिंग ब्लड ग्लूकोज लेवल 100 से 126 मिलीग्राम के दरमियान है, then patient may labeled as pre-diabetic and patient may develop diabetes in the future. और अगर similarly अगर postprandial 140 से 200 के दरमियान है, then patient may also have a chances to develop diabetes. and उसका जो है वो हम ग्लूकोज टॉलरेंस टेस्ट करते हैं, और उसके बाद उसका कंफर्म होता है कि पेशेंट होगा या डायबिटिक है या नहीं. Clear? Another term you have listened multiple time, hemoglobin A1C. Hemoglobin A1C क्या है? Do you know about this? What is hemoglobin A1C? चैट बॉक्स आपका शो नहीं हो रहा, इस वजह से मुझे प्रॉब्लम हो रही है कि मैं आप लोगों का रिस्पॉन्स नहीं देख पा रही हूँ. I don't know what is the problem with the chat box. Okay. Hemoglobin A1C. Normally at the normal glucose level, 4 to 6% of hemoglobin covalently bind with the glucose. At normal blood glucose level, 4 to 6% of hemoglobin A will covalently bind with the glucose, and this hemoglobin that is bind with the glucose is known as hemoglobin A1C, and this hemoglobin A1C reflect the control of blood glucose level in the past 3 months. पास्ट 3 मंथ्स या 12 वीक्स तक का ये एक्यूरेट आपको ब्लड ग्लूकोज लेवल देगा कि आपका 3 मंथ्स में कितना रहा है, एंड इट इज अ मोर रिलायबल इंडिकेटर टू असेस द कंट्रोल ऑफ डायबिटीज और कंट्रोल ऑफ ब्लड ग्लूकोज लेवल. Okay, and the normal level of this hemoglobin A1C if 5.7% is normal, and 5.7 to 6.4% is at high risk, pre-diabetic. ठीक है, and greater than 6.5% is diabetic. ठीक है, so monitoring of the hemoglobin A1C is a reliable indicator of the glycemic control in past 3 months, क्योंकि hemoglobin RBCs की हाफ लाइफ, RBCs की लाइफ जो है वो 120 डेज होती है, तो इसी वजह से हेमोग्लोबिन A1C ओनली आपको 8 to 12 वीक्स का जो है ना वो एक इंडिकेटर बता सकता है, ग्लाइसेमिक कंट्रोल का बता सकता है. Okay, now the diagnostic criteria. This table shows the normal blood glucose level, pre-diabetic and diabetes mellitus, and we have discussed already. This is called fasting blood glucose level is less than 100. The pre-diabetic has 100 to 125, and diabetic has more than 126, more than 126. And postprandial will be less than 140 in normal subjects, and in pre-diabetic 140 to 199, and more than 200 is in diabetic. Clear? And hemoglobin A1C normal is 5.C less than 5.7, 5.7 to 6.4 is pre-diabetic, and more than 6.5 is diabetic. As a good physician, or to be a good physician, you must have a full knowledge about diabetes, hypertension, asthma, peptic ulcer, depression, different infections, etc. But these are the most important thing, and without the knowledge of these diseases, you cannot be a good physician. आप देखेंगे जो क्लिनिक पे पेशेंट्स आते हैं वो ज्यादातर इन्हीं सब चीजों के आते हैं. आप डिप्रेशन आजकल बहुत ज्यादा कॉमन हो गया, तो हर पेशेंट के पीछे कोई ना कोई डिप्रेसिंग प्रॉब्लम होता है, तो एंटी डिप्रेशन यू मस्ट नो अबाउट इट. So these are the common and you must know. So diabetes is a very important topic, theoretically as well as practically. It is commonly asked in the Viva, it is commonly asked in the exam, in SCQs, in MCQs, and it will be helpful in practically in your clinic. Now we come to the normal regulation of blood glucose level. If the blood glucose level will be a low blood glucose level, it will send the impulses to the pancreas. Pancreas will increase the glucagon secretion. Glucagon causes the breakdown of glycogen and increase the release of glucose from the liver and increase the blood sugar level. On the other hand, in case of high blood sugar level, pancreas release insulin. Insulin causes the glycogen formation and increased utilization of glucose by the muscles and the adipose tissues, and lower the blood glucose level. Okay, these are the signs and symptoms of diabetes. Diabetes may cause polydipsia, polyuria, lethargy sometimes, but most of the time diabetes will be silent. It will not produce any silent symptom. Polydipsia या polyuria, increased thirst or increased urination is a common problem. या बहुत सारे लोग जरूरी नहीं है कि उसको serious लें, ठीक है, और बहुत सारे symptoms इसके उस वक्त appear होते हैं जब complication develop होती है, because it can cause microvascular and macrovascular complications. Other symptoms are patient sometimes may have weight loss, acetone smell in the breathing, especially when patient having very high blood glucose level, blurring of vision, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, polyuria, glycosuria. This is a specific type of breathing, casomal breathing. ठीक है, जब आप लोग मेडिसिन में जाएंगे, आप लोग पेशेंट देखेंगे डायबिटीज के, then you better understand the sign and symptoms of diabetes. Okay, these are the common signs and symptoms: polyuria, polydipsia, polyphagia, fatigue, blurring of vision, weight loss. Then we come to the complication of diabetes: macrovascular and microvascular. Macrovascular complication because of the damage of the large blood vessels. Okay? In the brain, it can cause transient ischemic attack, cerebrovascular accident, dementia. In the heart, acute coronary syndrome, congestive heart failure, peripheral vascular disease. Because of the damage of small blood vessels, micro blood vessels, it can cause retinopathy, glaucoma, cataract in the eye. Okay? In the kidney, they can cause microalbuminuria, nephropathy, end-stage renal disease, and it may cause peripheral neuropathy. In diabetic peripheral neuropathy, patient may occur because of the damage of the peripheral blood vessels, and patient may have numbness, tingling in the in the foot, or patient may have a loss of sensation of pain, touch, and temperature, etc. So इन डायबिटिक पेशेंट्स के लिए कहते हैं कि डायबिटिक पेशेंट्स को अपने फेस से ज्यादा अपने पैरों की, अपने फीट की हिफाजत करनी चाहिए, बिकॉज ऑफ द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ पेरिफेरल न्यूरोपैथी. पेरिफेरल न्यूरोपैथी डेवलप होती है और पेशेंट हैज लॉस्ट हिज सेंसेशन. पेशेंट को पता नहीं, कोई वूंड होता है या कोई चीज पता नहीं चलती, और अल्टीमेटली क्या होता है, इट विल कन्वर्टेड इनटू गैंग्रीन एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम एम्पुटेशन करनी पड़ती है, पैर काटना पड़ता है, या नी तक उसकी लेग काटनी पड़ती है टू प्रिजर्व द लाइफ. सो peripheral parts की care is more important than the care of upper or face in case of diabetes. How we can manage the diabetes? If the patient having in pre-diabetic condition, then diet and exercise sometime can control the disease. In pre-diabetic condition, if you have an impaired glucose tolerance test, then diet and exercise, diet free of sugar and exercise, because exercise utilize the in exercise our muscles utilize glucose without insulin. So diet and exercise will make you healthy and delay the progression of the disease, especially if you are in the pre-diabetic stage. Then we have oral hypoglycemic drug, and oral hypoglycemic drugs are used for type 2 diabetes. And then we have insulin therapy. Insulin therapy is used for the type 1 diabetes, but it can be used in type 3, 4, or type 2 diabetes. Okay, in different conditions. What is insulin? Insulin क्या है? Insulin is a hormone that is released from the pancreas, beta cell of pancreas. It is a polypeptide hormone, and it consists of two chains, A chain and B chain. It consists of two chains, that is two chains of amino acid, that is joined by the disulfide bridge. And this structure of insulin is in the proinsulin form. And after maturity, this C peptide will be separated. This C peptide, the purple color is the C peptide, and this C peptide is separated. And this is the actual structure of insulin. It has two amino acid chain that are joined by the disulfide bond. Okay. You have seen here that there is a pre-proinsulin, and that is released from the endoplasmic reticulum. Then there is removal of various amino acids, and then it converts into proinsulin. Proinsulin has C peptide. This is a C peptide, and it is activated in the Golgi apparatus and releases insulin. That is only have two amino acid chains and that joined by the disulfide bond. And this is the C peptide will be separated. The importance of C-peptide is also released along with the insulin. The importance of C-peptide reflect actually how many insulin is released. Otherwise, insulin is metabolized in the liver and excreted out through the urine. So the plasma level of insulin is not a reliable indicator that how much insulin is released. So C-peptide is a reliable indicator that shows that how much insulin is released into the blood. Insulin is released, the bolus of insulin is released during meal time, okay, at the breakfast, lunch, snacks. While this is the basal release, a continuous small amount of insulin continuously released from the pancreas, uh, that is required for the body, but the large amount is only released when you eat anything. When you eat anything at the time of breakfast, lunch, dinner, or you take the snakes, then it will increase in the bolus. और आपने जब अपने इंसुलिन पेशेंट को देनी होती है तब भी आप उसको इसी तरह से मैनेज करते हैं कि you have to manage the basal insulin level and you have to give the bolus insulin dose at the meal time. इंसुलिन, हाँ, इंसुलिन की एक एग्जांपल है अच्छी मुझे लगी कि जो इंसुलिन इज लाइक अ टीचर्स. आप देख रहे हैं ना, टीचर्स ब्रेक टाइम में बच्चे बाहर हैं और टीचर उनको क्लासरूम्स में भेज रही हैं. तो इंसुलिन का काम भी क्या होता है कि ग्लूकोज को जो है वो डिफरेंट एडिपोज टिश्यूज में, स्केलेटल मसल्स में और डिफरेंट जगह पर भेज रहा होता है. अनदर स्लाइड, इंसुलिन कैन बी हेडमास्टर, जो कि काम करने में मजबूर कर रहा है, एंड स्टूडेंट इज लाइक अ ग्लूकोज. है ना, अच्छा कार्टून है ये. मतलब okay, this slide shows the different functions of normal physiological functions of insulin, and you know better about it. You can read this slide. I think there is no need to read by me. You can read it. I will give you 2 minutes and then we will discuss further, because there is nothing to discuss. You already know all these things. Okay, I think you have read this table. Okay, now we come to the mechanism of action. All of you should know that how the insulin produces its effect at the level of at cellular level. Insulin bind with the tyrosine kinase receptor. If you can recall your past memory, then you should know that it activates the tyrosine kinase receptor, and it will bind with the receptor. Receptor exists in the monomeric state, and then after binding, the conformational change occur in the receptor and it convert into dimeric state, and the intracellular domain of this receptor has a tyrosine kinase activity. So it causes the autophosphorylation of by the tyrosine kinase, and tyrosine kinase also phosphorylate other types of protein, and the phosphorylation of these type of protein is responsible for various action of the insulin. Now we come to the insulin preparation. As you know, insulin consists of two chain of amino acids, A and B, that is joined by the disulfide bond, and insulin, the different types of insulin is produced by modification in the amino acid sequence, and this amino acid sequence modification just change the pharmacokinetic profile, change the duration of action, change the onset of action, okay? But it has no effect on the pharmacodynamic. It has no effect on the mechanism of action or the action of insulin. Previously, insulin was prepared through the pork and cow, but now the insulin is prepared through the genetic engineering by using E. coli or yeast. And this insulin is very much similar with the human insulin. And the chances of hypersensitivity reaction is very less with this insulin. While the pork and bovine insulin has more chances to develop hypersensitivity reaction. Now we come to the different preparation. We have there are four types of insulins: rapid acting, short acting, intermediate acting, and long acting. In rapid acting, we have three preparation: insulin lispro, insulin aspart, insulin glulicine. कौन कौन सी तीन है? Lispro, aspart, and glulicine. These are the rapid acting insulin, and these insulins are used to reduce the blood glucose level rapidly. Usually they are given during the meal time in the form of bolus. Short acting insulin is the regular insulin, and it can be used to control the high blood glucose level urgently, but they have slow onset as compared to rapid acting. Intermediate acting have a duration action more than the rapid acting and short acting, um, and it is used to maintain the basal glucose level. Similarly, long acting, that is insulin glargine, insulin gatimer, and insulin degludec. These insulins are long acting, and along with intermediate insulin, both of these types used to maintain the basal glucose level, and these insulins are used to for bolus at the meal time. Insulin usually expressed in the number of units. आप लोगों ने देखा होगा different drugs are used in milligram, but insulin and penicillin G both present in the units. Sorry, in the units. ठीक है, and 100 unit is present in 1 ml. Insulin के कितने होते हैं? 100 units per ml is present, and usually for each patient, insulin is calculated. The requirement of insulin is calculated by different formulas. I have found that it can be used from 0.3 unit per kg to 0.6 unit per kg per day in different patients, according to the body weight of the patient, according to the blood glucose level of the patient, according to some other condition resistant to the penicillin, insulin. Sorry. So the range is 0.3 unit to 0.6 unit per kg per day. ठीक है, इस तरह से ये कैलकुलेट की जाती है, एंड इट इज यूजुअली गिवन 2 to 3 times a day. 2 to 3 times a day. डिफरेंट प्रिपरेशंस होती हैं और डिफरेंट कॉम्बिनेशन होते हैं. अगर आपने कभी किसी का देखा होगा इंसुलिन का, तो आपने देखा होगा कि जी उसमें मिक्स होती है इंसुलिन, शॉर्ट एक्टिंग, इंटरमीडिएट एक्टिंग, और उसकी डिफरेंट टाइमिंग होती है. So this will be better and understand when you go to the medicine ward and when you learn medicine. Short acting insulin is a soluble crystalline zinc insulin, and it should be given 30 minutes before meal, because it start their action within 30 to 60 minutes. Within 30 to 60 minutes. So it should be given 30 minutes before meal, and its duration is up to 5 to 8 hours. Regular insulin. Short acting insulin का नाम क्या है? It is regular insulin. Regular insulin. ठीक है? It is available. Usually all insulins are administered by subcutaneous route, because these are the polypeptide hormone, and it can be destroyed by the gastrointestinal tract. That's why it should be given parenterally, and subcutaneous route is a better for insulin. So all insulin preparation administered normally by the subcutaneous route, but in case of emergency, in case of diabetic ketoacidosis, then IV route should be preferred. So this regular insulin is very commonly used IV in case of diabetic ketoacidosis. It's a complication of diabetes. It is characterized by very high glucose level, acetone breath, and posomal breathing, or nausea, vomiting. Sometimes patient may go into the coma, etc. Regular insulin can be used in peri-operative period, before operation. अगर आपने कोई patient अगर type 2 diabetes में का है, तो before operation और during operation उसको insulin ही दी जाती है to maintain the blood glucose level. So this type of short acting insulin, regular insulin, can be used for that purpose as well. Rapid acting insulin, insulin lispro, insulin aspart, and insulin glolicine. These insulin are prepared from the regular insulin. Okay, by modification of the amino acid sequence of regular insulin, these insulins are prepared and they have a very quick onset. It produces their effect within 10 to 20 minutes after injection, and it should be given 15 minutes before meal or during 15 minutes of starting the meal, in which insulin aspart also available for intravenous use in hyperglycemic emergencies. But this type of insulin is not used for the basal control. It should not be used for the basal glucose control. They are only used for meal time, during or before meal, and they are usually used along with the intermediate acting or long acting. जो भी regular insulin है और जो है in short acting insulin, both insulin are used in combination with intermediate insulin or the long acting insulin, ताकि जो है वो basal उसकी भी requirement पूरी करें और meal time requirement भी पूरी करें. Intermediate insulin is known as NPH insulin, neutral protamine hexadron insulin, और the other name is the isofan insulin. ठीक है, isofan insulin है, iso fan insulin. ठीक है, NPH insulin or isofan insulin. This insulin has addition of protamine. ठीक है, protamine, and this addition of this protamine decrease its dissolution, so it is slowly dissolved as compared to the rapid insulin or the regular insulin. So it has a slow onset of action and long duration. 2 to 5 hours is required to produce its effect, and its effect up to 4 to 12 hours remains for up to 4 to 12 hours. So intermediate acting insulin is usually used along with the regular lisproaspart or glolicine insulin, and can be used 2 to 4 times of day according to the insulin requirement. Long-acting insulin are the insulin glargine, insulin detamar, insulin degludec. Long-acting insulin precipitate at the injection site. They precipitate at the injection site and slowly release from the injection site, and maintain the insulin level for long period of time. It has more long duration as compared to intermediate acting, short acting, and regular insulin. ठीक है, insulin degludec is an ultra long acting insulin in all long acting insulin, and its effect up to duration of action is over 24 hours, and 3 times per week preparation appear to meet basal insulin requirement with fewer episodes of hypoglycemia. The main problem with hypoglycemia is with the insulin is the hypoglycemia. I think wait for laptop is going to be discharged and I should find out the charger. देखो otherwise ये बंद हो जाएगा. Start करते हैं उसको. Okay, thanks God, problem is solved. So we will continue. Okay. So insulin degludec is the ultra long acting insulin, and its duration of action is more than the insulin glargine and insulin detamar. And only 3 doses per week can be sufficient to maintain the basal insulin level. This table shows the all types of insulin, their onset of action, their duration of action, and the time where it should be given. Okay, rapid acting, short acting, intermediate acting. You can see here. Okay, इसका 5, 15, 13, 60. You can read this table. Okay. As you all know that insulin must be given by subcutaneous injection and should not be given by the oral route because it can be destroyed in the stomach, and intravenous route is only used for emergency. Inhalational preparation is also available. Remember, inhalational insulin preparation is also available, and that insulin is taken by inhalational route, and this type of insulin should be avoided in asthmatic patients because some asthmatic patients may have a sensitivity to insulin and can cause bronchospasm. So if the patient having respiratory problem or asthma, then the inhalational route should be avoided. The absorption of insulin is rapid from the abdominal wall, abdominal injection site, and can be slower in arm, thigh or buttock. So usually आपने देखा होगा कि इंसुलिन इंजेक्शन जो है वो एब्डोमेन में ज़्यादा देते हैं, ठीक है? Thighs or buttocks can also be used, but less likely. Okay, patient should be taught to rotate injection site within a particular anatomical area. कि आपने एक ही जगह पे इंजेक्शन नहीं लगाना, आपने रोटेट करना है, साइड्स पे लगाने हैं सारे इंजेक्शंस. We have seen this is the how you apply the subcutaneous injection. You can see this is the insulin pumps, insulin pumps. Nowadays, various devices are available. This is the insulin pump, and if you can feed in this insulin pump, it releases the insulin at different times. It maintains the basal insulin level. It can increase the bolus. It can give the bolus insulin during meal and maintain the whole time, and there is no need to give the injection 2 or 3 times or maintain. आपने एक दफा लगा लिया ये पंप और उसके बाद आपने इसको फीड कर दिया कि कितनी कितनी अमाउंट आपने इसकी मेंटेन करनी है, कितनी रिक्वायरमेंट है, और इसके अकॉर्डिंगली ये खुद ही काम करता है. पेशेंट को जरूरत नहीं होती कि वो बार बार इंजेक्ट करे. और बहुत सारी डिवाइसेस आजकल अवेलेबल है. Okay, this shows the different action of different types of insulin. You can see here the short acting insulin produce the rapid effect and then subside. Regular insulin has a quite long duration. Then the NPH, that is intermediate acting insulin, has a more a long duration, and the datimar and glargine, that is a long acting insulin, has a long effect and can maintain the effect up to 24 hours, especially glargine. So these insulins are used in combination. Usually short acting and regular insulin is used in combination with NPH or the intermediate acting or the long acting insulin. At this slide you must take the pics, or you must write it down these things, because nowhere clinical uses of insulin is written. कहीं भी नहीं लिखे हुए इंसुलिन के clinical uses, and it is a very commonly asked viva question, or even sometimes it is asked in the SEQs, what are the different uses of insulin, and you only say type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes, although type 1 diabetes is the major use of insulin, but insulin can be used in all types of diabetes in different occasions. It can be used in diabetic ketoacidosis. It can be used in gestational diabetes in the first trimester of pregnancy. It can be used during or before surgery in case of type 2 diabetes. I'm talking about the type 2 diabetes here. These are the cases of type 2 diabetes. If type 2 diabetes patients undergoes any surgery, then they must be use insulin. because insulin gives the accurate control rather than the oral hypoglycemic agents. In case of severe infection, in severe infection, the blood glucose level is more high and difficult to control with the oral hypoglycemic drugs. Then it should be used, insulin should be used in severe infection. Then in uncontrolled type 2 diabetes, uncontrolled type 2 diabetes, despite of giving 2 or more drugs of oral hypoglycemic drug, patient's blood glucose level will not be now normalized, will not be controlled. Then in this type of type 2 diabetes, you have to switch over to the insulin. So all these are the clinical uses of insulin and all of you must know about it. It is commonly asked. अगर मेरे पास होता है तो मेरा भी ये favorite question है कि what is the clinical uses of insulin. Complication of insulin therapy, most common complication is severe hypoglycemia, and all you know that hypoglycemia is more dangerous than the hyperglycemia, and because it causes the brain death early. Why it cause occur the hypoglycemia? If you have taken the large doses of insulin when there is a excessive physical exercise, because I told you that physical exercise में क्या होता है कि glucose utilization बढ़ जाती है muscles की without insulin. So excessive physical exercise can cause hypoglycemia, can increase the glucose requirement. मील इज मिस्ड, अगर कोई मील आपने नहीं लिया और इंसुलिन आपने ले ली है तो क्या होगा कि इंसुलिन की क्वांटिटी बढ़ जाएगी, इट कॉजेस हाइपोग्लाइसीमिया. सो दीज आर द कंडीशन व्हिच कैन कॉज हाइपोग्लाइसीमिया एंड डायबिटिक पेशेंट मस्ट बी अवेयर अबाउट इट. Weight gain is the second adverse effect, local or systemic allergic reaction that are rare with the genetically engineered insulin, and previously it was common when a bovine or pork insulin was used. Lipodystrophy at injection site, अगर एक ही साइड पे आप इंजेक्शन बार बार लगाते जाएंगे, there is swelling and there may be a lump formation, and this lump can be subside after a period of time अगर आप उसको use नहीं करोगे तो. Insulin resistance, so these are the complication कह लो या इसको adverse effect कह लो insulin therapy के. If anybody asks the adverse effect or complication, you have to write it down. These hypoglycemia, weight gain, allergic reaction, lipodystrophy, and insulin resistance. How the patient present with hypoglycemia? Usually, patient have a trembling, palpitation, sweating, anxiety, nausea, hunger, tingling, confusion, difficulty in concentrating, weakness, drowsiness, vision problems, difficulty in speaking, headache, dizziness, tiredness. So if patient having these types, one of these type of symptoms, you must be aware, and these are the alarming symptoms. And sometimes patient may have a loss of consciousness without of these symptoms, without any of these symptoms. Okay, because it is not necessary that all patient having all the symptoms. So what you have to do, or what patient have to do, patient must take a glucose in the form of candy, in the form of sugar, or if any skilled person is available, then give the intramuscular injection of glucagon, give IV glucose, etc. to manage this problem, because hypoglycemia is more dangerous than hyperglycemia. This is all about the oral insulin therapy or the treatment of type 1 diabetes. Inshallah, tomorrow we will discuss the drug treatment of type 2 diabetes or oral hypoglycemic agents. अभी टाइम भी नहीं है और दूसरा जो है आपका चैट बॉक्स शो नहीं हो रहा, तो I cannot offer you to ask any question. If you have any question, you can ask me tomorrow. Okay, thank you.